Hello, welcome to another episode of Steel Nerd News. This is my co-anchor today, Ada. So a few things to talk about first up. First of all, and I guess the most pressing, is that I got another word back from Steelwill. They contacted their heat treating company, Element, who and said, hey, Pete's pointed out that there's not enough vanadium in that result that you sent us. To clarify, is that the result, or is that like a error on your guys' behalf, like a recording error? Ooh. Off to look into the sports, I'm sure. And there they said, yeah, no, that was our bad, sorry. And they gave them a additional chart with the vanadium and the tungsten added that they found. So it was a human error. And so there was the company that did the testing for them, which is independent to Steelwill. Then they were like, oh sorry, we sent on an incomplete sheet. And then Steelwill to me was like, oh sorry, we sent on an incomplete sheet. And even me, to you guys, I was a bit like, oh sorry, I just kind of saw that it said it was M390. And I guess I didn't check it properly either. But then, sure enough, I did that last episode of Steel Nerd News. And hopefully I clarified it. But anyway, so yes, they're putting it down to a, sorry, we just didn't write it down properly. That's probably as much as I can do on this. I'm not an investigative journalist. I'm just, I'm many things, but that is what I am not. But yeah, so that's what I've got. Leave it with you. But yeah, you know what, I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Steelwill have been pretty nice about it all. They're sending me some stuff. They said we want to send you something. So I don't know what it's going to be. I'm a bit mortified, to be honest. Whatever it is, I won't be keeping it. I'll be giving it to a smaller channel to review as well, or just another channel to review. I'll probably do a review on it, but then move it straight along. Because I don't want to appear like I'm making any benefit out of this than normally would. Because you know, I already have my hackles up a bit that I'm probably getting special treatment because I'm a YouTuber. But, you know, that is what it is. But yeah, so this is kind of where I'm sitting on that at the moment. But at any rate, that is where that probably has to stop. I don't have much more that I can really do about it. I'm not going to challenge him. I'm not even going to say that it wasn't what they're saying it was, because to be honest, I don't have the energy for it. And yeah, this has been my little experience. Use it as you see fit, you know. I hope that you have good experiences with them, with all your knife companies. Speaking of which, let's move on to some good news. So this is a little story that was shared with me, and it was something, you know what, there isn't enough of this that goes around, so I didn't have any feeling towards this company at all. I was a little bit bummed by the lawsuit business last year, which I think we're all aware of, with old mate Tony, but that all seemed to get sorted out amicably. But anyway, apart from that, I really had no preconceptions about this company, Microtech, at all. Yeah, you read comments and message boards, but that's what comments and message boards generally specialise in, the bad things. So, you know, let's talk the good things. I own a Microtech SOCOM Delta folder. Don't know what that is, but it sounds intense. And it came out in the year with Torx, pivot adjustment, and proprietary body screws. It was never smooth enough, so I went rogue and attempted to remove the blade just by the pivot. Due to the bearings, I actually twisted the lock bar and ruined the action completely. This is the owner of the knife. I think about selling it broken, but thought, why don't I try shipping it to Microtech and paying for a fix? I contacted them by email and said I was Australian, and they said we normally don't get Australian shipping here because most of their knives are automatic, and we don't generally get Microtechs at all because of that. But to send it in, and you can make like the CC payments. They sent it back 2 weeks later with a new pivot, a new titanium lock bar, a clean and a sharpened, plus a Microtech patch via priority USPS mail, so fast mail, for free. So the service blown my mind, and as it would have happened without anyone knowing, they smashed it through. I just tell my only Australian fellow knife guy, that was me. So it was crazy good service from a company, and that made him happy. So I just thought I'd share that, because that's nice to hear, you know. That's just a random, like, that's not me, that's one of you guys. Got a good run from Microtech. So good on you, Microtech. I still think most of your knives are hideous, but that's a good story, and that's just, you know, that's just my personal opinion. So that's cool as well. Another thing that is happening, Steel Knife Nerd News, is that on Monday or Tuesday, a little something called CPM Rex 121 should be landing here. and a little something called CPM Crewwear should be landing here, as well as another little something called HAP 40 should be landing here. So I got it on the Creely Blades Kickstarter, but I also wanted a Crewwear knife as well. So I said to Gary, can you make me a Crewwear maker as well, in the same pattern as the Rex knife that I'm getting? And he said, well, yeah, and I've also got another Rex knife I just made like before the Kickstarter. So if so I bought both off of him. So I've got two knives in the same pattern. I think the Crewwear one's slightly thicker stock, but yeah, and they're both going to get steel tested. The Rex 121 happily is coming at a 15° per side edge angle, very, very sharp apparently. So I might not even have to sharpen it before I test it. So of course I'll do sharpening and talking about how it was to sharpen, but yeah, interesting. So that should be early next week. I should have some pretty fancy new steels to be looking at. But yeah, so those are the three things that are sort of on my mind at the minute. Crewwear, I'm wondering really how it's going to stack up to CPM 4V. It's got a little bit less vanadium, but then it's got some tungsten in it as well, and a little bit less carbon, a little bit less more chromium. So yeah, slightly different recipe, but still lots of cool stuff in there doing the carbides and doing the cutting. So should be an interesting test. I'm actually as interested in that one as I am for the Rex 121, because I think I know the Rex 121 is going to cut a whole lot. But the Crewwear, that's where my sort of wonder is at the moment. So anyway, I'll knock those out as soon as I can. I won't pussyfoot around with them, and I won't tease you all with them. As quick as I can get them out, I'll get them out. So, because I know we all want those results, damn it. But in the meantime, you check out what Michael Christie's been managing to do with his Rex 121. He did a bit of a regrind on his, and he got it cutting a fair bit more than his Maximet could. And then, yeah, interesting video on Michael's channel yesterday about burning edges on Maximet and also on 1095. But the Maximet's an interesting one. The paramilitary series from Spyderco, as I understand, was going to be a sort of a standard lineup, but I think they've changed their mind on that because I think they're having some difficulties. So interesting to see what happens with Maximet in this little next portion, especially given the weird steel stuff that's going on lately. People saying that it's because of the steel tax and that's the thing with the Carpenter steels, but correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Carpenter an American company as well? I thought it was all made in America, so it shouldn't make much difference, but I may be off on that, but by all means comment below. And lastly, there is a really cool channel to work with from now. One of my commenters, he's got a really unique way of looking at knives, and straight after my own heart, he actually does the practical stuff with them while he's talking about his feelings. Because I'm always happy to discuss people's outcomes with their knives and stuff, but I love seeing what they're actually doing with them to get those outcomes. As I say, anecdotal is fine, but when you add a little layer of provable or a little layer of visual, it's so much better. So Nero Knives, check him out, I'll link him below. He's just got an interesting way of looking at knives, a different way of looking at knives. A bit of a thought shift on maybe things that we've taken for granted, like knives being, thin, flat ground knives being the best slices and all that sort of stuff. Just different opinions, and it's awesome. And he's got a really cool idea with VG10. How long can you get VG10 to cut whilst maintaining it intermittently with a strop? So that's a video that he's either will have up now or will have up very, very soon. Very cool idea, because really, there is no reason, if the VG10 is treated right and you've got a decent enough starting edge on it, and I think he's found that you can actually keep this going for a fair while just with a little bit of touching up from time to time. So yeah, hey look, when I stick my beard in the sun it looks like I've got a little white goatee. Anyway dudes, that's all for today's knife nerd news, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now. Every damn time. I forgot the last thing. Someone has graphed all of my data, like all of it, the Unleashed stuff, the Worksharp stuff, the Factory Edge stuff. It's been graphed, and it's on a Google Doc, and it's awesome. It's one of my Patreons has done it. I'll share it in the link below, the best way to share a Google Doc. I looked at it and I was just like, I'm so glad that someone else did this, because it looks really hard to do. It's probably not, but I have no experience. This is why I've been so tidy with doing this graphing. Everyone's saying, gotta graph your data, man. Gotta graph your data, man. But it was just not happening because I'm like, graphs are hard. Like, I would hate to have a job, like, that thing where you say you know how to use Excel, but you don't, and then someone like catches you out. Yeah, that would be me. So yeah, but I'll link it below, and it's awesome, and it's colorful, and it's easy to read, and it's fascinating. So, point number 4, awesome. Sorry. Always forget, and it's such a super amount of awesome hard work that's gone into it. and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much.